Yo, welcome back to another video. Just 1 second. I gotta look for this real quick. Okay, not there, not there. Okay, I got this countdown. So, we are exactly 3 days, 11 hours, and 46 minutes until Spider-Man PS5 comes out. Can't wait. So I'm saying that because today we're gonna be watching the 10 upcoming games for 2023. I'm right into it. I'm ready for it. I mean, if you ain't got a PS5, you gotta get one. If you got an Xbox, stop playing games. 10 upcoming EA games. I don't know what EA games. Okay.
Today we want to continue a trend of videos that we've been doing recently where we just talk about some random games that we haven't mentioned enough. Today we've got 10 unique games, some are AA, some are indie, they all just kind of fall in this in-between zone, but they're all pretty interesting. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get started off with number 10. Pacific Drive is one that you may have seen before, and it's really awesome. You get in an old jalopy car and you drive through seemingly an alien apocalyptic event. It's got survival elements, you're strapping equipment onto your car, and you're going. It's actually kind of a run-based roguelite style system where you gotta gather resources, build up your car, and get to the next point and zip out of there before things really go to crap. There's a lot of weird, mysterious stuff in this game when you hop out of your car and start wandering through the woods looking for a component or looking for some sort of resource. You're gonna stumble upon some weird stuff. We say that because we have gotten our hands on this one, just like early versions of the game, and with its kind of experimental ideas around how the car works, it just seems very, very interesting. A really good spin on a survival style game because we've seen so many. So this one kind of embracing science and getting through on an old station wagon car is just special. We really hope they pull it off with the final version. As of right now, we just know it's coming in 2024. Next over at number 9, we have a game called Where Winds Meet. This is being developed by Everstone Studio, a studio that we don't have too much on, but they are being supported by a bigger publisher, NetEase Games. Still, we don't expect this one to have a massive budget, but what they've done so far is pretty awesome. IGN got like exclusive gameplay, so you can go check that out if you want. It looks like a pretty impressive looking action RPG open world sandbox type of thing. This is like a Song Dynasty era fantasy game where your characters will have supernatural abilities, but a lot of it is focused around tight combat. But with that, there's all types of traversal. We've seen running, climbing, riding horseback, and also dashing across the water, which visually is really cool. This is another Chinese developer, it's worth pointing out, with the rise of other similar games of this action combat style, like Black Myth Wukong. There is definitely a rise of Chinese development studios, but it seems like Everstone Games is a smaller studio, but still, with what they've done so far on a limited budget, looks really impressive. The boss battles are pretty cool, there's a full character creator, cool supernatural abilities to use during battle, but also just a really big open world to explore with towns, fields, mountains, you name it. We're really hoping this one shapes up to be something awesome. It just got shown off a lot at Tokyo Game Show 2023, and maybe we'll get a release date soon. But for now, there's a bunch of gameplay floating online to feast your eyes on. Next over at number 8, we have Blight Survival. Now, we did mention this in another video recently, but we don't see anybody really cover it at all. And it's incredibly unique. That's why we're really excited for it. I mean, look at it on screen here. You are a lone, solitary medieval knight trudging through barren villages and forests, cutting down zombies. Interestingly enough, this is going to be a roguelite style game that is co-op. So you can play with some other players, and essentially you're going to go into these villages, these plague-ridden places that are kind of like the no man's land, and you're going to try and get stuff and do certain things to stop the spread of this horrible plague. But from what we've seen visually, the camera angle, the movement and animation of the characters, and the details of the environments just make this look really damn cool. It's got a little bit of an eerie aspect to it, and again, we just haven't really seen a lot of games like this, like 14th century knights killing zombies with good graphics graphics, and this is being developed and published by Hayner Studio. We don't know too much about them, so again, we have to have some skepticism here, but it does sound like at the very least they're working on something cool, and it's worth keeping an eye on. No release date yet, though.
No release date.
Next, over at number 7, we have Hellskate. I'm so excited to finally talk about this one because this is a skateboarding game. It's actually technically labeled by them on Steam a skateboarding action roguelite. You're kind of skating through this labyrinth, vanquishing enemies, doing tricks, and upgrading your character. It seems like they're going for some endless style gameplay, like where you're just going to want to keep playing it, and as someone who is a fan of the Tony Hawk series, if they can nail that gameplay feel, I will play this endlessly because the maps look cool, the character customization looks pretty unique, but that Tony Hawk gameplay, for that to feel really tight and proper, it has to be downright perfect. But at least in this game, you're also getting weapons and you're swinging them at enemies, so Hellskate is unique enough to stand out, and we're really, really excited to get our hands on the final product.
Like
look at this thing. As of right now, it doesn't have a release date, but
like
take
that.
your time, make it good. We will be playing this. Next, over at number 6, we have a game called Beneath. This is a first-person shooting action horror adventure that seems pretty awesome. I mean, visually, look at this thing. You're on a boat, you're stuck in the middle of the ocean, and you're fighting off zombies and monsters with first-person gameplay. It seems like it's going for a Resident Evil and also Fear style thing, which we don't really see a lot of games try and replicate the ideas of Fear, but we'll take it. And visually, the game looks pretty awesome from what we've seen so far. Again, you know, maybe this is too good to be true. We've talked about a lot of games on here that are being developed by small teams, but at the very least, these developers do have some games under their belt, like most recently Those Who Remain. So we're hoping that we can nail this one because like it has you dealing with sanity, it has you managing resources and saving bullets, but also customizing weapons. And there's some creepy underwater stuff. You're doing some deep sea diving adventures as well. So they got a lot going on with Beneath, and we're really excited to see how it really turns out.
I like how you shot him in the head like more than 3 times.
Actually, our best iPhone 15 Pro deal is guaranteed. And it's made with
My
titanium.
grandma just got her iPhone 15.
It
She
is
said
giving.
it should be
It
here
is
now.
giving. It is giving.
I'm like, wow.
Fear
I don't.
Fest
I don't
is
really know.
back.
I got a
It's
12.
fast.
Thought it was
Six
13.
brings you 31 days
Quite a
of the
while,
most.
but it's the 12. It's okay. I don't mind.
Next, over at number 5, we have Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. This is the newest game from
Ghosts of
Don't
New
Nod, who
Eden.
is a development studio that definitely continues to keep you guessing. They're always working on different things from Life is Strange to Remember Me, and Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden is kind of like an action RPG
Life is
story-based
Strange
thing
was
set in
a
a
good
fantasy world in the
I like,
1600s. And through this story-driven game, you're playing as ghost hunters, but
first,
one is actually living
second,
and one is dead. This is being
the latest
published
one they
by
came out
Focus
with.
Entertainment, who is known
I
for
don't
a
know if they
lot
had
of
it
great
like
games
the
that aren't like
Strange
big, bombastic,
Or maybe the
AAA
Life is
crazy
Strange
games,
thing
but
was
they
like an
have that happy
expansion pack
medium,
or
you know, like Atomic Heart, Atlas Fallen, the Plague Tale games, SnowRunner, and so many more. Now, Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden seems to have a really good, spooky, haunted vibe to it, and hopefully a really good emphasis on story. I mean, Don't Nod definitely knows how to tell a story, we can say that at least, so we're keeping our eyes on
that's
this one.
true.
It was supposed to release fall 2023, but it just got delayed. It got pushed to February 13th, 2024, because, as I quote, as the market is experiencing an intense release cycle for AAA titles, we are convinced that a commercial release of Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden during a less saturated period will give it the attention it deserves. And I absolutely agree. If you play any types of video games right now, you know that there are too many out right now, and Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden is definitely going to need its own separate time to shine.
I think they
Next,
should
over at number
release it
4, we
in
have a
May.
game called Beautiful Light.
Ain't no
this
games
is a
coming out in
team-based
May.
shooter that was just announced, and the announcement trailer caught
there
our eye.
are
It's got
games
this
that come out
weird,
between
strange,
the-
void-like thing to it, where soldiers are getting sucked up,
What would
seemingly
you
into
call
another
it?
dimension.
They come out
There's
between
spooky laboratory
February
experiments and monsters. It's
probably,
kind of got a little bit of a
April.
grown-up
And
Tom
then
Clancy
they got
style
games
Stranger
come out
Things type
from
of vibe to it, like just
between,
that type of horror, that type of
July
existential
through,
threat. That's what the
October.
trailer teased and
Or
implied. I mean,
November.
you see like a soldier facing off against a bunch of
I
venom
don't think
creatures
anything comes out in
that came out
December.
of these weird portals.
People are just buying games that
Imagery-wise,
came
there's a
out
lot of
recently.
cool stuff going
They
on
were
here.
able to
The
get it
trailer
before.
did dazzle us a lot, but to be honest, this is a trailer. It's not gameplay. It's all just kind of visual, pre-rendered stuff, but it's implying some cool, fun, mysterious aspects. So
I don't
this
know about
is
that.
like a co-op
Midnight Suns was
tactical
implying
shooter.
they were gonna
It
be
may
like
be
some-
kind of like an extraction or resource-based thing,
The
but the
game
announcement
where
trailer
it
made a
was,
splash for us, so
for the,
we're going to keep it on our
Oculus.
list. Next over
It was
at
like
number
0
3, we have
point
Greedfall 2.
something.
Yep, there's a new Greedfall in the
But it
works. A lot of
wasn't.
people
It was
missed
a
this announcement because all it really was
horror game.
was a cinematic trailer. But the European AA development studio is working on a sequel to a game that we kind of
Greedfall
liked.
2,
It
The
had
Dying
a lot
World.
of flaws, but it also had some cool ideas. This RPG is kind of looking to spin things around. In the last one, you were kind of like a colonial settler adventuring into a new fantasy land, but now this time around, you're going to be on the native side. The trailer and stuff we've seen so far implies that you're playing as a native tribal type person, and the settlers from the old world are coming onto your land, which could make for some pretty cool story possibilities. Hopefully they really double down on making the combat better and more RPG character building, because like we said, there was something to the original Greedfall. It was a pretty kind of janky mid-budget adventure RPG, almost in the vein of something like Fable, and we really think a lot of these ideas and this world and
Remember
atmosphere
that.
could be
I didn't
expanded
play it.
upon. We'd love to see it. As of right now though, Greedfall 2 doesn't have a release date, but we're hoping that they take their time on it. Now down at number 2, we have Unrecord. This is another one that made a splash a while back, but was also rife with speculation.
this game looks
is the
realistic.
first-person body cam style game, like police body cam, found footage style stuff. It's a first-person shooter. We've seen a character run into a building, shoot a bunch of bad guys, and it was apparently done in Unreal Engine 5. And with the visual filters and the animations and everything going on here, the environment work, the lighting, it looks incredibly realistic. Some people say too realistic, too good to be true. The developer has posted like their works in progress showing that it is a real game, but we still have a lot of questions. Still, as a concept, it seems really cool. The found footage body cam style gameplay thing seems to be a young subgenre, but there are other games cropping up with this style, like a horror game doing it as well, and we'd like to see how this really actually pans out. Can this provide something that looks realistic, but also something that you can get immersed in? It's probably going to be a while before we see the final version of Unrecord. It's being developed
I
by
could
a
see
very
this
small
being
team,
like
but it's another one that got people talking,
maybe an
got
hour
people
or 2
interested,
hours.
so we're keeping it on our list.
Game. I don't see this
Now
being
down
like
to number
a
1, Little Devil
20-hour
Inside. This
experience
game
or
looks
anything like
incredibly
that.
unique and quirky, with a unique, special looking art style
Little
that
Devil
people were
Inside.
immediately enamored with, and it's kind of like a survival adventure game. But it's gone dark. We haven't heard about it in a while, and people keep asking. They've been asking us, I've been getting messages, I haven't heard anything, I don't know what the deal is, but we're really hoping Little Devil Inside does come back to the surface at some point and ends up being an incredible game, because look at what we see here. It seems really cool and charming, and most importantly, unique. Those are some games we wanted to
Yeah,
talk about, but
those
we got a couple
look
of bonus
different.
ones we couldn't fit into our top 10. The
Yeah,
first
similar in
is
some
Replaced.
ways.
This is a 2.5D sci-fi retro futuristic action kind of platformer game where you're running around in a cool cyberpunk noir style, shooting bad guys and doing stuff. It just really seems like it could hit. When people saw that visual style when it was first revealed at like a gameplay presentation, the collective response was, holy crap. So we're hoping we finally see this at some point. Also, worth mentioning,
know.
a game
I don't
called
really like
Ill.
that.
No, not licensed to Ill, just Ill. Sorry, had to make the reference. But
People are different.
this is
You've gotta
another
be
game
like
on the
real
list that is just
gamers,
a gorgeous-looking
old
first-person
gamers.
shooter, pushing all the boundaries here visually. And this
Old
is a
gamers can be
narrative-driven
weird. I
first-person
ain't gonna lie.
survival horror game with a little bit of a
New gamers,
slower
they're cool.
pace, more investigative elements, but hopefully still plenty of good spooks
Thought you
and
gonna blow up
scares.
them
The
rocks with that.
environments,
Like
the
you gonna push
atmosphere,
in,
everything
yeah.
here is really dripping in
The whole
real
wall
quality,
will open up.
and you know, some of the monster designs and stuff we've seen have been downright incredible. This is another game on the list where further videos have come out and the game has looked a little bit rougher and the team maybe a little bit smaller than the initial trailer may have suggested, but we're rooting for them because we've seen crazier things happen and we just want more survival horror-y type games. Like the games we talked about on this video, some of them are flawed, some of them are early, some of them are works in progress, but these are some unique AA and indie games that we want.
Alright. Thank y'all for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one. It's nice. I expected something different, but it's good nice.